G'day all. Welcome back to Frostbites GI Joe Repro. What can I say? Canberra, it's actually getting better. I know a lot of people don't talk about Canberra that way, but it was 18 degrees today. It was raining. It taught me a lesson. But yeah, 18 degrees. Pretty stoked with that. So we're missing the boys tonight, but we have our usual fourth member, which is Rod. After a dropout, we have Rod. How
I
are
dropped
you, mate?
out, but I'm back. Yeah, we went black for 1 second there, but I am still here. I can confirm
I'm like, here's Rod. Drops out.
How are you, mate? Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks very much for coming on.
No worries.
So usually we would be talking Joes. Apart from the purchases tonight, there's probably not going to be any Joe talk. So if you're here for Joes and that's all you like watching, take the night off. Take the missus out to dinner. If you don't mind two lads talking shit about toys, then you're in the right place.
Yep.
Rod, how is Melbourne today?
Oh, pleased to report Melbourne is very, very nice. 20 degrees and sunny yesterday, 20 degrees and sunny today, 20 degrees and sunny tomorrow. It's happy days down here at the moment.
That sounds like too good to be true, mate.
I know, right? Yeah, touch wood. Yeah, but we'll enjoy it while it lasts because you know Melbourne and it won't last long. So let's enjoy it while it lasts.
I've only been there a couple of times, as I've said in the past, but I've always heard that it's 4 seasons in one day.
It's absolutely true. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, most stereotypes are grounded in some sort of truth, and that's certainly true. If you don't like the weather in Melbourne, just wait a while. Yeah, it'll change. It really does.
Yeah, right.
I guess it's something to do with our location geographically, and I don't know, but it's very true.
Okay. All right. Well, there's only two of us, so let's get straight into purchases. I'll show you. Actually haven't gotten much over the week, and then I went out today and I hit JB up of all places.
Ooh.
So you don't collect Transformers, do you?
Oh, did you get in on this deal? I know all about this deal. Did you get in on it? You did. You cheeky monkey. I was too slow. I do collect the Studio series, and that's what you're about to show. I'm not gonna spoil your thunder, but I know about this, and it is incredible.
Right. And sorry, before we do that, I'll just show Cambo was. Oh no, he is here. Campbell's here.
Hello, mate.
We got Ronnie.
Yes, how are you, mate, Berjo?
Campbell is captain of the hitting the like button brigade, which is good. Everyone loves that. He said he'd take the night off, but he didn't. He tricked me. All right. So what happened in the Transformers community, and this was yesterday, it was hilarious. Someone come up saying this Transformers the movie Thundercracker Seeker Jet, which was usually $60, $60 or $80, one of the two.
Yep.
Was going for $4.
$4.
$4.
And not just like an input error, the actual little price sale.
Yeah.
Actually, that made the graphic that said $4.
Yeah, it said saving $55 or $65 or something. Yeah.
Crazy.
So I grabbed a couple of them online. They're due to arrive either Thursday to Monday next week, somewhere in there. And I'll be laughing they've been distributed, so I'm getting them.
Well, some people had done click and collects, and they went and picked theirs up, and they've got them in hand. So it's real.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I awkwardly laugh as well because, you know, one day afterwards, there's dudes finding it out about it today in the Transformers group, and
I know where this is going.
they're angry.
And there's also idiot collectors that are like putting them up for trade for other studio series.
That one guy.
Oh, you absolute clown. And then he gets dragged over hot coals saying, mate, we're all in the same groups. We all know the same deal happened. Yeah. And then he's playing the victim. It's like, mate, come on. Trying to trade $4 fig.
When he was asking, what's wrong, I wanted just to say, no, like, read the room, mate.
Yeah.
People are disappointed they've missed out on this thing.
Yeah.
And you've gotten it, and you're trying to do dodgy deals.
You got multiple, and you're trying to trade up to make another one worth $4. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So
I got that. Yeah. And then today in shop, I picked up these. So the Insecticons.
Oh, nice. Shrapnel. Oh, and is that Kickback? Yep.
Kickback, yeah.
Yep. So you just need Bombshell.
Yeah, is that released?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
But they're priced at $60.
Yep.
And they were $20 each.
Amazing. How do you go wrong? Yeah, you can't go wrong.
So grab those.
Yep.
I then went to our vintage collectible center. Like, pretty much, it's the best place in Canberra to pick up any vintage toys or anything vintage, actually.
Yeah.
And I was going through, I looked in the Ninja Turtles cabinet.
Yep.
And I found this.
No, I've actually got that. How fun is this? That is awesome. That's a vinyl record, if I'm not mistaken. 12-inch? Yep, I've got that. That is hilarious. That's a cracker. Yo, DJ, spin that wheel.
I actually really, really, really like this song.
Really?
Yeah, like super, super like this song.
Oh, that's controversial. Surely the other one, the one that plays over the credits is better.
Are you thinking about like Partners in Crime, Turtle Power?
That one is much better. Yeah.
No, I like this one, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. That's a hot take.
So I'm actually I've been considering contacting your kid K and saying, hey, can I interview you?
I dare say he's got some time on his hands.
Well, she does.
It's a she. There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been just, because obviously I need to tie it to vintage toys, so I need to come up with the right questions.
Yeah.
The thing I found out recently, Rod, and you're gonna love this if you don't know this already, because it blew my mind.
Are you gonna tell me? Is it Ninja Turtles trivia?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's your Kid K trivia, right?
Oh no, I'm not gonna know this then. Hit me.
So I didn't know this until about 3 weeks ago when I thought, hey, I'd maybe like to talk to this lady. And I started looking her up, and I did not know this at all. She was the lead singer of Technotronic.
No way. Pump Up the Jam Technotronic.
Yep. All of that.
No way.
She was the lead singer. And what they did was they didn't put her in the film clip. They brought this model in. The chick dancing around with the bum bag and stuff.
Right. She's not the singer.
That's not the singer. It's this chick.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Wow. Interesting. That is genuinely interesting. Wow.
Yeah. So if you look up your Kid K on YouTube, you'll actually find a few interviews where she discusses and talks about the whole thing. And
wow. There you go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then the last thing I got today was this.
Oh.
So
is that an original newspaper strip? Is that original art?
Yeah, from what I can
Amazing.
see, it's original art.
It looks original. The sizing looks right.
And I think that's original Archie
Yeah.
Dan DiCarlo
DiCarlo,
autograph.
There you go. That is cool.
This cost me. So he had it for $30, and I said, "How about 20?" And yeah, biggity bam.
Wow, good score.
So I grew up on Archie comics, so
Yeah.
this is a massive score for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
cool.
That's it.
All right.
What did you get up to?
Well, we had down here in Melbourne 2 days ago now. It was Sunday. We had the Vintage and Modern Toy Fair. It was the giant sized one, so it's in the larger venue. We do the smaller ones in Melbourne, for those who know Victorian suburbs. And yeah, this is the third one that's been the super size, the giant size in Caulfield at Caulfield Racecourse. So yeah, I typically sell a lot of my excess stuff because I just have it overflowing, and I'm always moving on stuff that I've fallen out of in love with. And yeah, so I was there, but when I'm there, I'm going to buy as well. So I thought I'd show a couple of things that I picked up. It's all vintage Joe Mox, but it's typically. $60 was a rip-off. That's a Cara reissue. Yeah, but that's 60 AU as well. Not
different.
And that's a different set. Yeah, not the Hasbro.
That's a Dakar reissue versus
Right.
a Transformers the movie.
Yeah,
set.
I mean, 60 is still a high price for these figures, in my opinion.
For those things, yeah.
So I got some vintage mocks. They're at the back end of the line, but got some good deals. So I picked up the Bat. I picked up an Astro Viper.
Yep.
It's got the old Book Warehouse $2.95, the old Aussie sticker on the front. See that Book Warehouse?
Has that got a staple hole in the top center?
It does not.
Okay.
Yeah. Just some stars. But an Astro Viper and a Robo Joe. And I did not realize until I got home that it's actually a French card.
Okay.
You can see it here, Muirtech. And then I had a closer look and I realized it's got some French translations in various places, which I have not seen before. Plenty of the Spanish cards, like the Ninja Force, the Spanish Ninja Force, and that sort of stuff. I see those all the time, but I haven't seen French Star Brigade before. And then this, which I know you commented on my social media.
Yeah, you hurt me a little bit when I saw that in the photo.
Really?
Yeah, like the message in the post was Cyhawk Cy, but really I was feeling more like you asshole.
I'm actually chuffed to have that Hawk. He was my first ever Joe as a kid, so that one's a bit special. So yeah,
who had that?
Sorry,
who had that?
I don't even know the guy's name. There was some new sellers this time around. There was some a couple that had come down from Ballarat that had a ton of Joe stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, they've got the Star Brigade off them, but there was definitely some new faces. The larger toy fair, the giant size, always seems to bring out some new vendors every time. Good old General Hall Campbell, yep, absolutely. One of my favorites for sure.
I was actually thinking, when you put
one?
up that Robo Joe, I was thinking of Aaron.
That one, Aaron?
No, the other one, the orange.
Oh, but he said all he needs is the bats. Is that not?
Oh no, I was just saying Robo Joe was so good.
Yeah. He loves the quirky ones, doesn't he?
I think that's something he's shown before.
This dude reminds me of, the bad guy from Centurions?
Yeah.
He reminds me of him. Feels like a knockoff of him.
Rick down the back.
I don't know if his name's Rick. They were from Ballarat, husband and wife. She was wearing a Melbourne Tigers jersey, and they were behind the bar, or in front of the bar, I should say. They had a truckload of good stuff, like really good stuff. I got all the Star Brigades from them, but they had like just tubs of vintage Joes in bags. Prices on the Lucy's were a little high in my opinion. Tons of vehicles too, lots of stuff. But they seem to have a good day, and I think they're going to be back at the next one, which will allow me stash some cash and be ready for him, because I was a little prepared for a seller having that much Joe stuff. It's been a long time.
Was that Hawk reasonably priced?
He was, in my opinion.
Yeah.
People might disagree, but 350.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's earlier. So I was happy with that.
He's a kind of weird mock that you could put different prices on him. He's not an alley viper, and he's not like I don't know, some weird shit one. Like I'd be thinking 200 to 400 would have been my price range for it.
I mean, and that's the thing. I often think to myself when I see, especially the earlier waves. Oh, that was Rick, tall and short. That's them. Yeah, they're lovely. They really are, mate. How's he? Yeah. I always think when I see the earlier mocks that it's not like you wander into a toy fair every day and see three of the same character, or you're kind of at the mercy of the seller in a bit of a way where you're not going to walk 3 stalls down and see another one. So if you want it, that's the price, sort of thing as well. So I think that it is a seller's market in that regard when it comes to the early waves. But saw those JB Rishimura Deco shelf forming a long time. Yeah, they were overpriced, Johnny. Totally agree.
Well, not now, Johnny. $20 a piece. Go and get them, bro.
Or $4 if you're quick enough.
Or $4 if you're quick. I've sort of over the past 2 years or something, whenever Glenn Forward shows me or shows pictures in the group of his mocks, that in my head, I'm sort of like I am jelly. That's like he's just got really nice mocks.
Right.
So now whenever I see him, and I try and keep to the vintage.
Yep.
If I can afford it.
Not long ago, you were, moving on, like the Battle Core, these sort of ones.
Yeah,
the later waves. You're not a big fan of.
No, I think if I could get the Alley Viper out of that set, then I would do that.
Yep.
But I don't see any any value in the other ones.
That's fair.
For putting into a crystal case and displaying and
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. I'm the psycho that still believes one day I'll have everyone on card, so I've got to get them.
Right.
But time will tell if I ever achieve that goal. That's a lifelong goal, I think, that one.
Well, I got that second bloody
Iron Grenadier. Don't rub it in.
Iron Grenadier.
Speaking of jelly.
Well, if you to tell you the truth, what actually happened was.
Oh, you told me this, I think, but please tell me again. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad.
No.
Because Jordan was in there.
Yeah.
And he saw the captain. Was Captain Gridiron?
No, Hardball.
Hardball was there, and I was like, "Oh, I actually wouldn't mind Hardball mock."
Yep.
And I said, "Can you just offer him $200?" And he come back and said, "Nah, they'll only do 240."
Yep.
But they've got this one, which was the Grenadier. And I said, "Nah, I've already got one." And he said, "What?" And I said, "The Iron Grenadier." And then he went live, and he's handing over cash.
No.
And I'm like,
you're joking. I did not know that.
Yeah. So
wow. So to give you my side of how it unfolded. So the last 2 shows he's had it. He's had both, the Hardball and the Iron Grenadier. And it's totally my fault because I've kicked the tires and talked to him. Oh, would you come down? And he had it a lot higher originally. He started it at like 300. And show to show, he's been coming down. And I've been playing a game of chicken with myself, every show. Like, how low is he going to go? Why would I buy it now when it'll be cheaper next show? And at the start of the show, I went and had a chat to him. I said, I see you still got it. And he said, yeah, I could do 180, which I believe he came down to for Jordan.
Yes. Yeah.
And I went, all right. And I thought, I might hit him up later in the show. End of the day, he might be a little bit more desperate. I might get a little bit more off the top. And I was walking with a mate. We were just having a wander in a quiet moment. And as we came through, I saw Jordan standing there with his wallet out, holding it. And I said to my mate, oh crap, I think Jordan's buying it. And
Yeah.
we both looked and we watched the sale happen. How funny that you were watching as well.
Yeah.
And then, and then I went over to him later. I said,
Because the
"Congrats, mate."
camera was underneath his wallet. Like I was looking up at him. And when he would, because I thought he was handing over money for the hardball, and I'm like,
Yeah, right.
oh man, like that's awesome.
Yeah, you got
180.
it done. Yeah, you closed the deal. Yeah.
And then when he's handed the Iron Grenadier over, I'm like, oh no.
No. Oh, oof. Yeah, because I had no idea that you were involved, and he came over to my table later, and I said, "Oh, congrats, mate! I saw you buy it. I was eyeing it off. You know, you got in there ahead of me. To the victor go the spoils." And he was like, "Oh no, I bought it for Lenny." And I was like, "Oh really?" And then I shot you a message, and I said, "You bugger!" And you were like, "Yeah, I've already got one, but I just bought another."
Well, that's the thing. Like 180 for an Iron Grenadier, it's just an amazing price anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well,
that's why when I finally realized, I just went, "Oh well."
It's not like I've thrown cash away.
It's not a horrible purchase. So
yeah, exactly.
But you know, if Jordan eventually watches this, thanks very much, bro. I do absolutely love that you're on the ground and you're helping out bros. Like that's awesome.
For sure. Yeah, he came and bought some stuff off me that he was pretty chuffed with as well. He got the O-ring Zorana and Zartan from the Transformers.
I saw that.
Yeah, I sold him those. Yeah, $50 for the pair. To be honest, I bought 2 sets and then I had to do a return on one, and they were like, "Oh, we can give you a partial refund if you just want to keep it and not send it back," which I did. And I thought I'll just sell the figs. So yeah. So everyone wins.
Good.
Yeah, everyone won from that one. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Good. Yeah. But yeah.
I did forget. I got these in the mail too. They've been on eBay for like 6 months or something, and I sent the person an offer and they accepted it. So
oh, nice. Oh, micro figures, awesome. I finally finished my set of those just recently. Quick Kick, awesome. Beachhead, nice.
So yeah, those 3 cost me, I think it was $40 delivered.
Awesome. Are you chasing any others? Because I have some spares if you need them.
Yeah, I'm still, because it's a big set, isn't it? It's like 15 figs or something, isn't it?
It might be slightly more. I actually bought the poster. Remember when you got the mail away poster back in the day?
Yeah.
I bought that off a seller just the other day. I'm going to get it framed, so I should know because I had a good look at it the other day. But I think you're right. It's like 15, 18, something like that. But I know I've got doubles of Cobra Commander, Snake Eyes, maybe a couple others. So yeah, shout out if you need.
I do need some. I still need probably 10 more or something. So
yeah, cool.
I'll take a photo of what I've got and let you know.
Awesome. Yep.
No, Mike Myers, you're a nice, awesome guy. But yeah, no, Jordan. Like Jordan didn't have to do any of that. Like doing live videos and showing people what's there is just such a nice thing for the group.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't realize you had that much stock, bro.
Oh, my table?
Yeah.
That's literally I have to leave stuff behind at home because I can't fit it all in. And it's all just like tubs that are out the back in my shed or out on my back deck or in a storage room. It's just excess. The sort of weird after effect of being such a big collector is that people always grab you shit thinking that they're helping, and it's such a kind thing to do, but often it's stuff I already have or stuff that's not going to fit my collection, that sort of thing. So yeah, I often end up with stuff and I think, well, if I can turn it into cash that I can then use to buy something that I do need or do want, they've still done, me this amazing gesture,
definitely,
but in a roundabout way. So I don't have any qualms sort of selling stuff that I don't want, but I do have a lot of excess stuff, that's for sure. Yeah. So I've got another one coming up in Reservoir next month, a couple of weeks. We've got another toy there. Yeah, I'll be at that one.
Yeah, because when Geordie panned over your stuff and you were standing there with your energy drink, I'm like, holy shit, dude, that is a lot of stock.
It's a lot. Yeah. And it's none of this stuff.
No. Yeah, it looked all really standard, just standard stuff.
Pretty much,
Mm.
yeah. Marvel Legends, Black Series, Turtles, Transformers. There was a
Yeah.
lot of movie series in there. People thinking that they see a deal, they grab one for me. I've already got it, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm never going to leave anyone that helps me. I'm never going to leave them short of cash. So
Yeah.
I'll always, fix them up if they're doing me a solid. But sometimes it's like I wish I hadn't, but thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a funny one. But yeah, the
And
weekend wasn't.
how was the vibe of the place? Was it there was lots of sales being made?
There was. It was the early bird line was the longest early bird line I've seen in a very long time, to be honest. I was quite shocked. The early bird line snaked kind of around the bend out the front, and I hadn't seen it do that not at that venue, and I haven't seen it do it for a long time. I feel like later in the day, it definitely got quite quiet in the last hour, but that's to be expected. But yeah, like same faces, but then a lot of new faces, and people really, it really felt like people were confident to spend again. The last show we did at that venue, and even the last Melbourne, definitely noticed a difference. A lot of buyer apprehension, a lot of tire kicking, a lot of negotiating, a lot of people saying, I'd love to, but I can't right now. But this show, people were just like, yep, I know what I want. I'll take that, and that. It was really good. And that, no one's, there's no pressure to buy, obviously. But when everyone's in that kind of mood, I think the vibe of the whole place, there's a buzz because, you can see stuff changing hands over tables. Everyone's carrying bags and you're like, wow, there's a lot of activity. There's a real buzz in the room. I definitely felt that at this show on Sunday. Yeah, it was good.
I don't know if you've checked. I don't know if you watched Campbell's videos. He's recently done a Toy Fair video.
Yep.
And it was just insane. Like, I think you'd really like it just to watch it.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
It was absolutely insane, right? It was in this big hall and stuff.
Yep.
What was insane was, I reckon 80% of his video, or even 85% of the video, was toy cars.
Really?
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, diecast.
Because like the Penrith one that I went to, the big one.
Yep.
That was like I would say that trading cards, and in particular Pokemon cards, were the hard-hitting thing. Like, they were just everywhere.
Right. I've done that show a couple of times. I love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then looking at the New Zealand one, and I've noticed it in one of his previous videos as well. Just so many toy cars.
Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. It's interesting. Just different areas, I guess. That's very interesting.
All I could think of was, is it just the age of the people that are collecting from New Zealand?
Right.
And did they not have access to a lot of the toys we had? I don't know.
Yeah, not sure.
I think New Zealanders love their toy cars. Man, it really freaked me out. It was just toy cars for the large majority of the video.
Wow, there you go. Yep.
And then it cracked me up, like after 20 minutes of toy cars.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, Campbell. And then he goes to this table, and there's a V1 Night Creeper with crossbow and broken crotch in bag for $15.
Wow.
And I saw him pick it up and put it back down. I'm like, don't put it back down.
And that's 15 New Zealand dollars, right? So it's like
that's right.
Aussie dollars.
Like $2 or $3 in Australia, and that's minus $5 American. So yeah. But yeah, good work, Campbell. Like your video, I was really actually impressed by the production quality of the video. Like it was super clear. So it was really good.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so you did mention that in the video.
Nice.
So I hope everyone really liked the thumb that I did for this video.
That was great.
I sat down and I looked at a couple of Mr. Beast thumbs, and I thought, how does he do this? And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to have that pop-up shop. I'm going to have like Rod just being dominant over that pop-up shop. And then I'm going to have a couple of chicks down the bottom like,
Too
like
funny.
it's Rod.
Too funny. I laughed my head off when I saw it. I was like, you bugger.
And
But yeah.
and you'd be happy to hear that I would have looked for about 5 to 10 minutes for an appropriate body that was dressed appropriately to put you onto.
It was quite flattering. Thank you.
Because there was dudes with like beach shorts on, and
Oh God.
and I'm like, no, I don't think Rod's that guy.
I'm not actually.
No.
It's too funny.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
I had a super amount of fun doing that thumbnail, and
cool.
I've been trying to step up my game a little bit.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's the YouTube thing, right? Like you try and get better as you go along.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaneco, g'day mate, how are you? So Shaneco's another Australian YouTuber, and he focuses on, he's mainly a Simpsons guy.
See, it looks like he's got a Kid Rock Simpsons vibe going on. I guess that's his avatar himself.
Well, that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
But he's been doing lives on Fortnite trading cards and
Nice.
And yeah, so go and check him out and subscribe if you're not currently subscribed. He's living out of Penrith, so he's a great dude. And yeah, go check him out.
It's funny you should mention trading cards too, mate, because that's what
that's right.
About, right. Yeah.
So where I was going was that beautiful thumb, and it my hope in the end, and I got my 13 or 14-year-old teenage daughter in here, and I said, here's what this guy did.
Yep.
Does this thumb show that? And she just laughed, and she said, that's a great thumb. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, I've got the teenager's approval. All right. So we'll just talk first about the product. Yep. It was Lorcana, right?
It is this stuff.
So can you just give us a bit of a Soldier's 5 on that?
Sure. So Lorcana is a TCG trading card game. Essentially, long story short, think Magic the Gathering, think Pokemon, think the new One Piece ones, that sort of stuff. There's a Dragon Ball one. These games where you can collect.
There's even a Hello Kitty one now.
Right. You can collect the cards, and you can do it two ways. You can collect them purely for collectability and value. You can collect them three ways. You can collect them to play, or you can collect them for both the value and the collectability, and play with them, battle, win them, whatever you want to do. What I'm holding here is the original first wave. As you see it there, it says the first chapter, starter deck.
Yep.
And they are the three different card packs that you could get, all random inside. There's no difference. Just these are the art, the pack art for the three: Elsa, Mickey, and Maleficent. And essentially, that's what they look like. Much like with Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, you've got a chance of holos inside, and there's these super rares that are with. But obviously, you've got the added thing where it's all IP, it's all Disney characters and Disney things. Yep. So you've already got this built-in fan base. You're not starting from scratch in that respect. And because of that, the fever pitch has been insane. So
when you say Disney, is it wider Disney, or is it Mickey Mouse stuff, or is it Star Wars? Is it Marvel?
It's just Disney proper, not Marvel, not Star Wars. But knowing Disney, I would not be surprised. They've already announced that Wave 6 is going to be Pixar. So they hadn't done any Pixar till now, and they're already going into the Pixar realm. So it's not going to surprise me. There's app games that my wife Steph's plays that for years and years were purely basic Disney, and now Star Wars is in there and X-Men's in there, and so it wouldn't surprise me if they go down that path. Right. Ravensburger are the company that make it. From all reports, I don't play the game from the actual competitive. I'm just the collecting aspect. From all reports, the gameplay's fantastic, like really top shelf, which I think has enhanced everyone wanting to be involved. It's not a crap game to play from all the reports. But the majority of people, I think, at the moment are buying and collecting and scooping all this stuff up for the Disney factor and the collectability factor down the road, the investment factor, so to speak. For a bit of context, this Lorcana, the whole thing has been out in the US for a year now. The event that happened on the weekend was actually to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of the initial launch. But in Australia, we've only had it a few months.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, I don't quite know why, we only launched a couple of months ago and we had some catching up to do and we've actually caught up. So it's been chaos here in Australia. In 2.5, 3 months, we've launched 5 different sets. Friday just gone, we launched our the fifth set.
Yeah.
And we're now caught up, but we did it in rapid speed. The first wave, the first chapter, sold out on launch. They went straight into the second wave. That sold out. They then did a reprint of the first chapter, which again sold out. And they said, we're not doing that every time. It feels disingenuous to the collectors. We're not going to redo the second wave. They went straight on to the third. So in this weird way, the second wave is now the most desirable because it never got that reprint that the first wave got, if that makes sense.
Right.
So they're both very much wanted, but the second wave is, if you see that around, into the Inklands, jump on it. But yeah, there's like Ursula's Revenge. Everything's got a title every wave.
What's the second one called?
Into the Inklands.
Right.
Yeah, so there's the first chapter, Into the Inklands. Shimmering Skies is the new one. Ursula's Revenge and the Floodborn, Rise of the Floodborn. They are great looking cards, Shanko. Yeah.
This might be your thing, Shana. Instead of opening Fortnite cards, get into the Lorcanas.
And it's still the early days, especially for Australia. So it's a really good time. If you're going to get in, you can get in now almost at the ground floor. If you're savvy and you shop around, you might still find some deals on first and second waves, but it's getting a lot harder, that's for sure. Some of the ultra rare cards I'm seeing sell in excess of $400, $500, $600 already. There's an Elsa Hollow and a Mufasa, big money. But yeah, that's kind of a background on the whole what we're talking about here, the Lorcana.
So you're the only collector in Australia that's known as that Aussie collector. You clearly know a lot. Is it better to get the card, like get the packs and hold on to the packs, or is it better to open the packs and try and get the cards?
So yeah, this is contentious. My strong opinion is it's better to have a sealed pack because there's always the what if.
Yeah.
You can argue, but there might be the greatest card in the set might be in this pack. So that is better than having an open pack that yielded nothing or yielded very little. So, I mean, it's great to have solid cards, but if you don't have the tippy top ones, it's better to have sealed packs. That's for sure. Yeah. As an investment is what I mean there.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we fast forward to this weekend. Actually, I'll take you back a week ago. So a week ago, Disney Store Australia do an announcement and they say, so D23 is a Disney convention that happened on the
Disney Store. Are they just an online thing or is there an actual Disney store?
There's Disney stores around the world. We used to have them in Australia about 15, 20 years ago and they went under. So we no longer have them here. But we do have an online store, and just this weekend we opened a Victorian warehouse. So if you order off the Disney Store now, the Australian Disney Store, it all ships out of Australia now, and it hadn't been doing that.
Wow!
So shipping's going to be a lot cheaper now, and that sort of stuff, and there'll be a lot more items, and you'll get them quicker. But yeah, so D23 is a Disney convention that was on the weekend in Anaheim, in America.
Yep.
And they do, they announce all the new Disney movies, the new cartoons, the new Marvel stuff, the new Star Wars things. Big convention, kind of like San Diego Comic-Con, but just Disney. And they do exclusives like San Diego do, like other cons do. D23 exclusives. So they had announced they were doing this Lorcana set. So it's just 6 cards, foil marked as D23 exclusives across the bottom, never to be made again, only in this set. The presentation, immaculate. You can you can either leave them in the box, which is immaculate, or you can take them out and they kind of stand up like this, almost like an award, and limited run. And they said, we're just going to have them at D23. A week ago, they said, well, with the success of Lorcana around the world, we've decided 3 other locations in the world. We're going to also have a pop-up location, and we will sell a limited amount there.
Yeah.
This was a week ago, and they said Paris, New York, and Melbourne. Like, which is that Sesame Street game?
Yeah.
One of these things is not like the others.
Which one's got the bogans?
Paris, New York, and Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I was like, this can't be right. Like, I'm reading these announcements online on these blogs, these Disney blogs, and I'm like, that's got to be a misprint, or, that can't be right. So I was just spamming refresh on sites, trying to dig up news. The buzz was building. Collectors in collector groups were like, is this real? Is this going to happen?
Ooh.
And nothing had been announced. Nothing at all. No more further details than that. This one little snippet was one paragraph saying Paris, New York, and Melbourne pop-up stores. Fast forward to Tuesday of this week. Now, last year for the Disney 100 celebrations, Westfield in Australia struck a supermarket deal with Disney, and I knew this from experience.
Yep.
So my wife and I had speculated, look, maybe Westfield have an ongoing agreement, and maybe it'll be at a Westfield. The biggest one was Doncaster of the Westfield. So we speculated maybe it's Doncaster. So I put my Sherlock Holmes cap on, and Housey, if you're still around, he'll attest to this. I've told him some stories about the thrill of the hunt, and when I get a feather in my cap, and when there's blood in the water, I'm like Jaws. Like, relentless, absolutely relentless. Like, I said to myself, right, if this is real, I'm going to find out if it's real, and I'm going to get this and once I say it, I'm just manifesting it. I'm like, it's like The Secret. Remember The Secret?
And you do have an actual job, don't you?
I do. I run my own company, Rooftop Company.
There you go.
So I started trawling the Westfield website, and then I started going into all the digital maps and searching, and I found that if you scrolled your mouse clicker over all the little on the grid, it would show you the stores, like, Coles, Woolies, Big W, whatever, as you move the mouse over the grid or the map. And I found one that said future Disney pop-up store, like a little square, just a tiny little square on this map. And I'm like, right, it's happening. It's real. Why would they put that on their website? I haven't told anyone, but it's there. I know it's there. And I know where the store is going to be. So it got to Wednesday of this week, and they actually Disney Store put that out there. They said, we can announce it will be at Doncaster Westfield. And that was all they said. They kept it classic Disney, kept it vague, didn't want to pull the curtain all the way back, let people be surprised. So I said to Steph, my wife, all right, I'm going to finish work at lunchtime on Friday. I'm going to come home, I'm going to shower. I'm going to grab blankets and whatever else, just in case there's a line. And I'm going to camp out if there's a line, but I'm going to go get eyes and boots on the ground, and I'm going to see what I can see at Doncaster. I'm about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic, from Doncaster.
Yep.
So knowing I had the toy fair on Sunday, and I could potentially be camping from Friday afternoon until Saturday morning. Saturday was set up for the toy fair for the Sunday show. What I did was I loaded the ute, my work ute, with all of my tubs for selling at the toy fair on Sunday. Loaded up the family car with stuff as well for Steph to come down and have a look. And then off I headed on Friday Arvo with all the toy fair stuff for Sunday.
Wow.
So I got there about 1 o'clock, probably closer to 2. And I did some reconnaissance. I walked around. I managed to find where it was. They had these. It was built in. It wasn't in the middle of the aisles as I thought it might be. It was built into a shop front, but they built this brand new Disney store, and then they covered it all. So it was a big coming soon, or a future store coming. One of those things where they put the boards up. You could not tell it was Disney store, but I just kind of sat on a stool and hung around for a while, and eventually someone was going in and out. The door opened, and I saw this giant Buzz Lightyear statue and this giant Woody, and I'm like, aha. This is where I need to be. All right, we're away. So then I thought, all right, now I need to speak to some people. So I went down to the information booth of the center management, and I said, look, you're going to think I'm crazy, but you may have been called by people, you may have been asked already, blah, blah, blah. Gave them the whole spiel. And then I said, can you tell me, firstly, do you know how this is going to run? Will there be tickets? What will we do? Is it going to be a line somewhere? How are we going to do this? And she was so vague it hurt. She was just like, I don't know. I'm sure it'll work itself out.
Disney?
Yeah, pretty much. so I said to her, look, I think you're going to be surprised with how many people come
Yeah.
to this thing. You're going to be very surprised. And I tried to explain it to her. It was going over her head. I said, all right, can I ask you this? Firstly, does the car park close? Because it was a kind of a covered over car park. And it's huge. Doncaster Westfield is massive. Different tiers, different coloured car parks, yellow, blue, red, different levels. And I was like, and when this happens, I said, obviously the store, the centre will be closed overnight. Now, the store's supposed to open at 9 a.m. Do you know when the centre doors will open? And I was like, will every door open automated at once? Will you have to manually open one specific door to let people in? Is there a door we should line up at? Am I allowed to hang out in the car park overnight? What's the go? And she was like, the giant, yeah. And she was like, yep, we have no issues with you waiting in the car park. Just obviously don't, do anything silly or, I said, no. And I said, look,
No
I don't think
burnouts.
and I was like, I don't think I'll be the only one. And she was like, haha, yeah, sure, whatever, psycho, sort of thing. So I said so by this time I'd called Steph, told her what I'd discovered. And I said, look, because she was keen. And then we have some friends, a friend in Rockhampton who'd helped me with some San Diego stuff, had said, if you're able to get an extra, please, could you grab me one?
Yeah.
They had also said that they will be limited to 2 per person to give everyone a fair shot.
Okay.
Yeah. So I should have said that earlier. So I was like, well, Steph, you'd need to help. Is that cool? She was like, she loves this sort of stuff too.
Yeah.
She's as big a Disney fan as I am. So she said, all right, I'll come down. I'll join you. So she drove another car down. We parked the cars at the door we thought was closest to where the store was and was probably going to be where the line would build. And we just waited. We just sat in the car for a while and waited. Slowly, obviously, the night ends. People start leaving. Shoppers are leaving. The car park's thinning out. The centre closed at 9. So we had camp chairs and stuff and blankets. So right at 9, the doors shut for the final time. And I immediately went and put my chairs there and sat down. And there were some people in the car park who kind of had similar ideas to me. But they had left the centre. And they came over and they said, sorry, are you lining up for the D23 for the Lorcana exclusive drop? And I was like, yes. And they were like, we were going home. We just came here to have a look to see if we could see the store. We weren't planning on lining up now. Are you lining up now? And I was like, yeah. And then the guy was like, all right, I'm going to go home and get a chair and I'm going to come back too. So then he's like, do you mind if I take a photo of you? This is amazing. And I'm like, I don't care. So he takes a photo of me sitting in this chair, right? And he goes and puts it in all these Lorcana collector groups. And he's like, here's the line. Here's this dude. He's number 1 in line. The line has begun, everyone. It's
Here's
on like
Rod.
Donkey Kong.
Here's the line.
Yeah. And it's just me going like this, sitting in a camper chair. Yeah, hey. I set off the trigger. And then within 20 minutes, there was 40 people in line. He had put it on social media and people just came from the clouds, scurrying out from under floorboards, jumping, abseiling in off roofs. And it just became chaos. Like cars were coming in and groups of people and people were starting to try and hold spots for others. And I was like, I don't know for sure I'm in the right spot. I've made a lot of educated guesses, but I hope. And then eventually it got to a point where security must have been watching on cameras from inside the centre.
Yeah.
The cleaners and everything. And a security guard came out and he's like, what are you guys doing? What on earth is happening here? And I start to explain it to him and he's like, okay. And he goes inside and he obviously made some calls to either Disney or Westfield management. He comes back and he's like, all right, they've said that it's cool for you guys to stay here. Just, if you need to use a toilet, just here's my, they were really good. They gave us their number and they're like, we'll come to the door and that sort of stuff. And it just, so I was there from 2 p.m. Again, we slept out all through the night. It turned into a real party atmosphere. People, obviously, with it being a TCG game, people started going home and getting fold-out tables and their decks and coming back and playing. There was some music. There were people chatting. The footy was on people's devices. So it was really fun. It was like a whole thing. And then we got a little worried that when doors, because we all started to talk amongst ourselves, like we're the hardcore guys. We've been here the longest. What happens if people come in later and just run past us or push or don't honor the the friend, the buddy system, that sort of thing.
Mm.
What if other doors open? All this sort of stuff. So there was a lot of that anxiety going on too. There was a nervous buzz. But we went through the night. It was cold. It was tough. It was a stretch.
Yeah.
All told, it was. I was awake. If you count my work day, I was awake. I think 36 straight hours. But it was a 19-hour camp out in line. I camped out for 19 hours. And long story short,
Wow, that's nice.
that's the prize. So these are the 6 characters. Oswald and, as you can see, Ursula. And I'll show you. They're also on the back. These are the cards. Sorry, there's a bit of glare because it's still sealed. But as you can see, D23 collection. Sorry, there's a lot of glare. They're the cards you get. Penelope and they're amazing. Bruno from Coco, not Coco. Sorry, I've been talking so much. I'm so sorry. Ursula, Cinderella, Mickey, fantastic. I ended up first in line. Channel 9 ended up there. There ended up being like 2,000, 3,000 people by the time all was said and done in the morning.
How many did they hand out?
Now, again, Disney being Disney, they did not reveal that number. I can tell you, overnight while we were in line, the Paris store opened. Paris had a limit of 5 per person. Paris sold out in 13 minutes. So there was anger, there was rage, there was all sorts of stuff going on in Paris. Not too sure how New York went. I can tell you our allotment was 2 per person, and they sold out in about an hour. So yeah, it is, Shane. It's lovely. It's really, really nice. $175 was the shelf price.
Yep.
And they're already on eBay for like $500 to $1,000. And I expect, Disney being Disney, they're going to go up more. I've already spoken to someone about an acrylic case for my set.
Yep.
I've seen some people opening them and custom making some really nice displays. Don't think I'll go down that route. That might be something you would do, Lenny. I know that's your thing.
I'd be more inclined to keep it OG and non-touched.
Same. That's my thought.
Because that's how it's going to sell better to a wider audience like that.
Yeah. And obviously I've got that extra one. I've helped out a few friends, but I've kept one for myself. They also gave us, what Disney do is whenever they open a new store anywhere in the world, a flagship store, pop-up, permanent, whatever it is, they have what they call a key ceremony. So the first 10 people in line will get a special Disney key. There'll be a big presentation. With this being all done in essentially like a week, they didn't have time to organize that stuff. What they did have time to organize was they came to us in line and they gave the first 10 of us a money can't buy pin. Yeah, just an enamel pin.
Yeah, that's nice.
And they did a whole thing, and then they kind of presented me with the one, and they said, you're the first person to own the D23 set in the country. Congratulations. And it was really cool. It was really nice of them. That's not why I did it. I did it because I wanted a set, and my crazy collector brain was like, I'm always of the opinion, give yourself the best opportunity. If you can do something to give yourself that opportunity, you should do it. So I was like, do I physically think I can camp out for 19 hours? Yeah, I do. And I did. But that's all it is to me. It's just a mental thing. It's just if you think you can do it, then you should do it. So I did do it, if that makes sense. So that's just how I go. I've done this. I've done it for record vinyl drops. I've done it for Funko Pop drops. I did it for San Diego. I've been to D23 in Anaheim, and I slept out there overnight. I've done it for all sorts of stuff. And it was just another notch on the belt. But this one was a really fun one. The vibe was really good. Some of them are like when I do the vinyl ones, everyone's just very much, don't talk to me. I just want to zone out and sleep, or I just want to, turn my brain off. But this one was a really, just a real good, everyone was in it together. So that was cool. They're all different. But it's all, making memories. My wife did it. My brother came and joined us late in the night, and he brought his son, my nephew. So it was great fun. And we got there in the end. That feeling when you get it, when you go, you put yourself through this, and it's not just a physical thing. It's also the mental torture of, am I in the right spot? I didn't even tell you when the doors opened. This is crazy. I can't believe I left this bit out. When the doors opened, we'd made friends with security. They knew the deal, and they were like, everyone just be orderly. It'll be fine. We're going to maintain this line. We're going to lead you into where you need to be. They open the doors at 6, and they said the store will open at 9. So you've still got, once you get into the center, you've still got 3 more hours. But at least you all know your spot in line. You can go to your toilet. You can go get a coffee at Starbucks. You can do what you want to do. So we're like, sweet. The doors open at 6. I swear to God, you're going to think I'm making this up. The security guard goes, he knew my name at this point because I was first in line. He's like, Rod, come in, just come in, lead the line in. So I'm like, yep, sweet. I start walking. I'm halfway to the marker where we need to be. 3 young 20-year-old dudes jump out of a broom closet inside the center. They had been hiding. I don't know when they got in there.
Jesus.
They hadn't been in there all night. I think they snuck in through a loading dock with the cleaners or something.
Yeah.
But they heard people moving inside the center. They jump out and they start running to try and get to the front of the line. I couldn't believe it. Security grabbed them. No, absolutely not. And they were escorted out. But there were 3 young dudes hiding in a broom closet, waiting. I couldn't believe it. But other than that drama, everyone was really respectful. Everyone followed the rules. Obviously, unfortunately, a lot of people missed out. But my kind of way of viewing it is, well, I guess the people that got it just wanted it more. And I understand not everyone can get there at the crack of dawn, or people have jobs and commitments. I get that. I totally do. But, maybe you can get someone to childmind for you or whatever it is. I think the people that got it just wanted it more. And that's what it comes down to in my opinion.
It's all dedication and commitment, right? And that's the reason I wanted you to tell your story tonight, because, being a collector is one thing, but being the ultimate collector is another thing.
The ultimate crazy, I guess. But,
you're just committed to the cause, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I've told a story to Adam Howes about some comic art that I once got, where I did a similar thing. I slept in a car park, and the convention, the gates were locked, and the garbage truck came in, and he had the beeper, and he buzzed the gate. The gate opened, he drove in, and I just followed him in, and I went and lined up at 4 a.m. and got this art. And I've done it a million times, but that's what it comes down to. I love this stuff. I'm passionate about it, and it's not that I'm not willing to pay the aftermarket prices or that I can't live without it. I can, but I guess I've got this mental approach of, if I'm able to do it, it's a challenge, and it's a challenge that I'll set myself for, and I'll be like, now I'm gonna hack it. I'm gonna hack it in my brain. I'm gonna figure out the best way to get A, B, C to achieve this point, that point, almost like a game, the next tier, the next level. I'm gonna find, all right, now I need to make sure I'm in the right line. Now I need to make sure I'm in front of that line. I need to make sure I've sorted myself out for this. I'm going to talk to that person. I'm going to ask the right question to that person. Where's the store? Where do I need to be? What's the strategy?
All of this story has just made me feel really good that Jordan snagged that Iron Grenadier under your nose. It's just made me feel so much better now.
That is too funny. That is too funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're like, hey, wait, did I beat the crazy man? And this was the thing, when people were, because the Disney officials came out and they were like, front of line, wow, what time did you start lining up? And I kept saying, 2 p.m. yesterday. I've been here 19 hours. And then Steph's like, stop telling them 2 p.m. because next time someone will get here at 1 p.m.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, you're just making it harder. You're going to the next hard level. Yeah. It's that's the game.
Somebody's got to win.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not all, I shouldn't make it sound like it's all, sunshine and rainbows, because it's not. There are doubts. There's anxiety. There's, am I in the right line? Have I made the right call? Should I have bothered? That sort of thing. Am I just going to miss out anyway? All that sort of stuff. If everyone just runs past me when the door's open, what am I going to do? It's going to be bullshit. There's all that sort of stuff. So it's not all, there's really ups and downs along the way. It's a real roller coaster.
Well, I'll tell you what you probably need to do is go and pick up a, 24 pack of Pepsi Max or something and take it back to that security guard and say, thanks, bro.
I reckon. You're probably not wrong, I really should. He was a really good dude.
Well, that sounds like It sounds like he was the difference between you missing
Yep.
out and getting it.
Well, yeah. He was like, you're all in the right spot, and let's all just keep it friendly, and everyone will get what they want. Yeah, he was really, really good.
Mm.
And yeah, and then yeah, it was like we saw some weird things. Like, we saw some lady get moved out of line. I don't know what she did, but she did something wrong. She was pulled out of line while we were waiting. So they were really policing it quite well, making sure that everyone did the right thing. Yeah, which is good because it's not always the case with these things.
That was probably a really good training opportunity for him as well.
Yeah. And I think it's probably, with the crowd that turned up, it's a good show of faith for Disney to be like, why don't we bring a permanent store back to Melbourne or to Australia? You know, like, people flew down from Brisbane, people flew down from Sydney, Adelaide. They were in the line saying, and you know, if people look on my social media, that Aussie Collector, I've actually posted the Channel 9 news article, and you see me on there. They interviewed me, they interviewed others. They asked you've seen it, Lenny, yourself. Yeah. They asked all the questions, and you know, and you'll see exactly what happened and how it all looked. You'll see the line; it's insane. If you just want a bit more further insight into the story.
No, that's great, mate. That's exactly how I thought this was going to play out. Just an awesome story.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it was great fun, a great experience, and thank you for asking me to share.
Oh, mate. So building on that, go check out Rod at That Aussie Collector on Instagram. You know, I quite like seeing Rod's you know, his Insta posts coming through, because my Insta is just full of usually American GI Joe collectors. And then you'll get Rod coming through, and he's picked up a Dua Lipa album that's signed, and now he's got his law car. Oh, look, he was first to get that. But it is very nice to have that break in you know, the normal. So
no, thank you. Yeah, I try and mix it up. I mean, obviously, I could probably do Joe's all day, every day as well, but I try and mix it up. You know, I'm into a lot of stuff, so I try and make that shine through on my Insta.
Actually, I don't think I've discussed it before, maybe a while ago, but I think the secret to not burning out on GI Joes is to not just collect GI Joes.
Yeah, good call. Yep.
So, you know, talking about, like, I'm never going to collect this set. I might go and try and find some packs, but you know, just knowing about it and looking at other shit's really good. So
yeah, for sure.
Campbell's just saying thanks for sharing the awesome story.
No worries, mate. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging around.
Is there anything you'd like to we're calling it, I think, the gold head of the week now, so
okay, the gold head of the week. I've missed this. What have I missed?
Yeah, we started that last week. So is there anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, for your plugs?
Yeah.
Not really. I don't think so. I'm anxiously awaiting to see, obviously, Alien Romulus drops at cinemas this week. Right. I don't know if anyone's seen, but America's getting this insane popcorn bucket. It's like,
I think I saw a picture.
It's an alien head. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you, mate. It's an alien head, full of popcorn, like a life-size alien head type thing. I don't think we're going to get it here, but we did get the Deadpool taxi, so fingers crossed. But that's my thing at the moment. That I'm that's my next thing that I'm just spamming refresh on, trying to find info. Are we going to get it in Australia, or do I need to source one from the US? So that's the next thing I'm onto. This is what my wife always complains about. She says the problem is you're always onto the next thing once you achieve that thing.
Do you live in constant anxiety that you're going to miss out on something?
Well, we're getting into lie on the couch and tell me your life stories.
Yeah.
You know, psychiatry.
It just occurred to me, like, if you collect everything and you're always trying to get that good thing, man, that must be plain.
It's not constant anxiety, but I am constantly looking at the horizon. I am constantly, what else is out there? What do I need to know about? But I'm happy to say that I think I've fine-tuned my algorithms enough on social media now that I don't have to seek out as much as it just comes across my desk. Does that make sense? Stuff just seems to filter through now. I think I've got the algorithm about right. I don't want to tweak it. It seems to work for me, whereas this little kind of stuff, I saw at the right time, you know. The popcorn buckets, I saw the Deadpool ones at the right time, and I raced out and grabbed them and got them and helped friends. So yeah, I touch wood. I feel like I'm in a good spot with that. Where if I didn't see it, it probably wasn't worth chasing anyway, or I can get it easy later. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks very much for everyone joining in. It was just an excellent story. If you enjoyed, hearing a bit of a toy story, let me know in the comments because it's something we can definitely get Rod on in the future for.
I got a million.
I'm sure you do. But yeah, let me know in the comments if it's something you might like to see in the future. Apart from that, thanks so much for joining us, Rod. You're a champion. Thanks so much for joining us as well.
Pleasure, mate.
And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Yeah.